Alright, so thanks for joining us here at Noob Aquatics. We have another video for you. This is another review video of a very neat little product. Now, one thing about having a fish room is that you need to be able to feed your fish various different types of food. And some of the best food out there are live food. So like live black worms, if you can find them. They're easy for us to find here at our local store. And you also, and my kids are having a fun time in there. We also have brine shrimp, or artemia is another word for it. So we just call them brine shrimp here. And then of course there's other things, Daphnia. There's many different things that you can do. You can culture your own micro worms. But what we really enjoy here is using black worms, and we also like brine shrimp. Now, how do we hatch out our brine shrimp? And that's what the review is over today. So let's take a look at the product. Alright, so what we have here, alright, this is the Hobby, let me see if I can get a better picture. This is the Hobby Artemia Brine Shrimp Hatchery. I got this off of Amazon. It did not come with any, it didn't come with any brine shrimp eggs or cysts or anything like that. What comes in the box, you get this little pipette, but I'm going to tell you right now, we don't use that. And then you get this here, so it's total of 1, 2, 4 pieces. Alright, so what you do is you're just going to take this right here. This is how you install it. It goes in here. Okay, then you put this on here. Okay, and this has a little thing that says open and close over here. I never use those. Alright, and this right here just goes down in here. What are some other things that you need for this to work? You need, of course, brine shrimp cysts. Alright, so you're going to need those. These say that they are 90% hatch rate. I'm going to tell you right now, I got these off of Amazon. They are not 90%. It's probably closer to 70%. But the good part about it is that these were super cheap. I got, how much is this? A half of an ounce. There's still a ton in here. Alright, and one other thing that you're going to need also is marine salt. Now this is the one that we use here, Instant Ocean. Funny story, someone around our neighborhood had saltwater aquariums and didn't want them anymore, and they had this entire bucket here they were giving away, so I took it, and it was full, brand new. So I got lucky. I got some free marine salt. Now this right here is about $60 if you buy it at the store, so I wouldn't recommend that. You don't need something this big. You just need 2 tablespoons for every time that you create the water for it. So what we do is we need the water. So over here, this is 1 quart of dechlorinated water. Okay. What I do is I'm going to take this water. I'm going to put it right here. Okay. And then I'm going to get my salt. So in here, this is a 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to do a 1 leveled tablespoon. Dump it in. Tap. And then the next one, I'm going to go a little bit less. So as you can see, I'm shaking it, getting some out. Not much, but you can see it's not very far from the rim there. I'm going to put that in there as well. And this, because it's plastic and it doesn't rust, just toss it back in there. Put the lid back on. Snap that back down. This is airtight. Alright, and then I'm going to take my water, and then I'm going to stir it. Now many people probably seen these things. We got them with our silverware set. We don't ever use them, ever. So I use these to stir my brine shrimp water. So I'm going to take it in there and stir it. Stir it up really well. Alright, look in there, make sure there's no salt in the bottom. You don't see any in there. Alright, no salt. Alright, and now we have our water. So that's how we get our water prepared. Yeah, so now we have our water. Alright, next step is to put it in here. Give me just a second, I gotta stir my dinner. Yes, I'm multitasking, making dinner and making a video for YouTube. By the way, that is bone broth, onion, and mushroom soup. Okay, but yeah, so here we are. We're back to this product here, and like I said, this is the hobby brand Artemia. I got this off of Amazon, but again, you can get it off of a place called Brine Shrimp Direct, and from there they have a package that actually comes with brine shrimp, and I mean it's the same thing. The best part about this is it doesn't require a heater, it doesn't require air, and I didn't want to have to buy more stuff that I already don't have. So I tried to do something that was just bare minimum. Alright, so that's what I did. Now in here, let's see where it is. Alright, so over here, this is the fill line. It says fill to here. So our next goal is to take the water that we have. Okay. I'm going to take the water and I'm just going to literally just pour it in here. And I'm going to go all the way to the fill line. Now this right here, it fills all 3 chambers. You can just pour it in one, but you know I like to get it all the way up there and ready to go. Alright, it needs to be on a level surface. Alright, so now I have it at the fill line. And yes, you're going to have extra water. What do you do with that extra water? Well, unfortunately in this case, you just dump it. Alright, just dump it back down the sink. So yeah, so now I have my water. Alright, and I'm going to ask my lovely assistant here to give me a hand. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it over next to a light source and where it stays warm.
Mom, I'm like wanting.
I think that box was moved over.
Okay. You can pause that for a second. So make sure you have all your stuff over here with you. So this is where we actually grow out our brine shrimp. It's right next to a window. It's summertime or just after summertime. And I have an additional light source because I want light on it at all times, even at nighttime while this is growing out. And that's what this is. And this is just a regular old reading light that you would wear around your neck. So I'm using it and it works just fine. So you have all your supplies. Next is to add the brine shrimp cysts, or Artemia cysts, or brine shrimp eggs, whatever you want to call it. Okay. All right. So inside this box right here, okay, comes a little scooper. I just put the scooper in here because that's what it's used for. And then there, you just take one scoop, and you're going to go around the outside edges. Okay, so I start with one scoop and then I'll grab another one. Why? Because I got 10 fish tanks to feed. You may have less. If you do, then one scoop should be plenty. Alright, and then I'll put in some more. Make sure it's as even as possible all the way around. Alright, I just put this back in there, and these are going to go back in the fridge. That'll help prolong the life of these so that the hatch rate stays high. And like I said, I put a lot in there, and I'm guessing it's probably somewhere between 70 and 90%, but I've also seen a lot of eggs that have not hatched. So I'd say it's probably a lot less than 90%, which is fine. It was super cheap. So yeah, so once you get that in there, next thing is to put this lid on. Now I do it one step further. These are always, they're stacked on top of each other. Some of these eggs are not touching the water. So very lightly, I just take a breath and I just blow it around. And what that does is it helps get the ones that are on top actually touching the water so that you actually are able to grow out more. And then you just put this on top. All right, once you put that on top, you put that on top there, you take this, put it down in there. Sometimes it has air bubbles. Just keep trying until there's no air bubbles in it. Put it right there. And then you put your light source right on top. Now again, like I said, I have 2 light sources here. And that's how you grow out the brine shrimp there. Very simple, very, very easy. I can take that back now. Thank you, though. Okay, all right. All right, so like I said, very simple, very easy. It was something we were looking for because we wanted to feed live brine shrimp to a lot of our baby fish that are in the grow out tanks, so our guppies, the baby acaras, and pretty much anything they'll eat. Even adult fish will eat it. But one thing that we recommend is if you have a small 1 or 2 gallon aquarium, an extra bubble filter or just a extra bubble filter. Watch out, Teddy. An extra bubble filter or even just an air stone. It really doesn't matter, but we want to grow out some of these brine shrimp so that they're a little bit bigger. So what we do is the first 2, when we first start, growing out the brine shrimp, the first 2 batches I put in here. And when I do that, I don't know if you can see them in here, bunch of little brine shrimp in there. We're going to grow those out until they get a lot bigger. Now, how do you know that they're going to get bigger? There's no heater in here. And they grow pretty quick, so no heater. It's got a light source with this salt rock here. Light source back there. It maintains a temperature of around 76 to 78 degrees. When I put a heater in here, it was cooking them and they were all dying off. Not good, no bueno, So, we put them in there. We use spirulina. All right. And I'll show you that. We use organic spirulina to gut load the brine shrimp. This is from now, just something that a human could take if you really want. We got that off Amazon as well. All right. And we feed them. So what we'll do is we'll take a little scoop out of there, put it in the top, and then we'll look at the top of the water, make sure that it's green. If it is, then we stop. At the end of the day, if the water's cloudy, that means they still have food. The next day, we will take our little stir straw, stick it in the water, stir it up. All right, get any of that spirulina that fell to the bottom back floating into the water so that they can eat. Did we do that today?
Yeah, I put.
Okay, so we've already, did we feed them?
I fed them, yeah.
Okay, we already fed them today, unfortunately. But yeah, so I'll stick it in there and I'll stir it up. And when that stirs up, that pulls any spirulina that's on the bottom back into the water so that I'm not overfeeding it and the water doesn't get gunked up as quickly. And it gives them something else to eat. And then again, you just keep an eye on the water. If it's clear and there's nothing coming up off the bottom, then you probably need to feed them again. If it's cloudy, leave it alone. They still have food and they can still eat. But yeah, so yeah, this is an amazing little product here. The Brine Shrimp Hatchery from Hobby. The Brine Shrimp Hatchery from Hobby right here. I'll show it. Again, we are not sponsored by this company or in any way, and we're not sponsored by Amazon or nothing. We bought these off there, and again, I wouldn't recommend these. They work, but if you want something that's better or bigger, then probably look for something else. I know Aquarium Co-op sells a much bigger can if you have a larger fish room, and now they even sell a smaller one, so I would probably try them next. just in case, because they may actually have a better hatch rate. But always make sure you keep them in the fridge. But yeah, that's the product. Great little product. So if you don't have time to have a hatchery such as one of these $40 ones I see on there, or have time to make your own out of a 2-liter bottle, then I would suggest that you do this. It's about $25 on Amazon. I'll try to find a link and put it in the description down below. It may be an affiliate link, so I may get some profits off of it, but it won't be much. But I will put a link down there just in case you do decide you want to get one of those from Amazon where I got it. And then of course, yeah. But yeah, great little product. I would highly recommend it for someone with a fish room the size of mine, with only 10 aquariums. But if you have a lot more than that, I'd probably start looking at something a lot bigger and more sustainable, just to be safe. Smaller fish rooms, this is the perfect hatchery for you. It says they start hatching after about 24 hours. I've actually seen them start hatching after 18 hours. And then I pull brine shrimp out of there for the next 2 to 4 days. Large quantities of them. After about 5 days, it's time to clean it out and start over again. And every time, make sure that you clean it out every single time so that it doesn't build up any bacteria or anything else in there. That way you're starting fresh every single time. And just to be safe, make sure you're using like organic cleaners or even non-chemical cleaners like essential oils. Anything that's not going to be harmful to the fish is recommended. But yeah, great product, highly recommended. If you want, like I said, check the link below. It will be most likely an affiliate link. But yeah, thanks for coming to Noob Aquatics and checking out our review of the hobby brand brine shrimp hatchery, and I hope you have a wonderful day.